for a real visit last month.
No, we didn't.
Sit down, sit down.
Thank you. Nice office.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's not quite as fancy as the Banner's managing editor's office.
I wouldn't say that. I suppose you've been pretty busy lately.
Yeah, busy enough. Look, I gathered from your call that this is not exactly a social visit.
Oh, on the telephone, I didn't know where to begin.
Oh, well.
Frankly, I'm not too sure I know where to begin even now.
By any chance, this doesn't have anything to do with the murder investigation of Marco Dane, does it? Well, I mean, I read the Landview papers, too. And I must say, I was rather surprised to read last week that Viki had been picked up for questioning. Guess I didn't take it very seriously at the time.
Well, you can take it seriously now, Paul. I'm afraid Viki might be in trouble.
With that man's death?
Well, I don't believe for 1 minute Viki could have killed him.
Well, why do you think she may be in trouble?
Well, for one thing, she discovered Marco's body and didn't report it.
Oh, boy, I can tell you right now, she's already in trouble.
Well, I don't know. When she was first questioned, she came clean on that.
What reason did she give for not reporting finding the body?
Said she panicked.
What do you mean, are they bought that?
Paul, look, I'd like you to talk to Viki, get the whole story from her, okay?
Yeah, all right. Why did the police want to question Viki in the first place?
Marco Dane owned the Landview Health Club. When the police began their investigation, they discovered Viki's fingerprints in Marco's office.
I see. How'd she explain that?
According to Viki, the day before Marco was killed, he called her and told her he had something important to tell her.
You mean that Viki and this Dane character knew each other well enough that he could just simply call her up on the phone and say, hey, babe, come on down here, I want to talk to you?
No, they were far from being friends. As a matter of fact, she hated his guts.
I see. Why'd she hate him?
Almost everybody in Landview hated him.
I see. Let me ask you something else. On the day that she discovered the body, how long did she stay in the health club office?
No idea. What difference does that make?
I was just wondering how many sets of fingerprints the police may have found that were her fingerprints. You see, if her fingerprints were only on the doorknob, that would indicate that she simply came and went. However, if they were found in other areas, that could mean that she came in and decided to stay a while.
She'd have no reason to stay a while.
Well, how do you know that?
Paul, I'm looking for someone to defend my wife, not prosecute her.
Any good defense attorney is going to ask all the questions that he thinks a good prosecuting attorney is going to ask, right? Now, if your concern for your wife turns out to be justified, Viki's going to be faced with an awful lot of unpleasant questions. And I tell you right now, she'd better be able to come up with the right answers.
Sorry I jumped on you, Paul. I've been running on raw nerves for the last couple of weeks.
Come on, Joe, you don't have to tell me that. I mean, I could see that from the minute that you walked through the door. Listen, Viki isn't capable of killing anyone. You didn't say that she had killed anyone. Hey, come on, why are you being so defensive about all of this? You know, Joe, I'm not some strange lawyer that you just met for the first time, you know? I mean, I happen to be an old friend, and I would have thought that you could walk through the door here and be completely upfront with me. Well, I have been. I'm sorry. I beg to differ about that. The Joe Riley I know is a completely open guy. He doesn't hedge. He says exactly what's on his mind. But you haven't done that. In fact, I've got the distinct impression that there's something very important that you're not willing to tell me.
You go right ahead and shed those tears. Defend Viki if it becomes necessary.
Let me ask you something first. Forgetting for the moment what you know or don't know about facts and evidence, what do you feel deep down? Do you think it's possible that Viki could have killed Marco Dane?
Come on, I told you.
Look, I know what you told me. And I also know that you've lacked a certain amount of conviction ever since you walked into this place.
What are you driving at?
You know, every time that I've asked you a question about your wife, you haven't given me a firm, straightforward answer. Instead, you've either hedged or you've changed the subject entirely. Sorry, Joe, I just keep getting the impression that somewhere deep down inside you, you've got some serious doubts about your wife.
I'll admit, I'm confused about a lot of things. Maybe that's why I'm not myself. And I'm sorry I couldn't come here and drop a clean-cut case in your lap.
Look, if this thing were clean-cut, you wouldn't have felt the need to come in the first place.
There is one thing, though, that I am absolutely certain about. I love Viki. I love her with all my heart. I know there are a lot of unanswered questions here, but I know she could not have killed Mark O'Day. All I'm appealing to you as a friend. Please come to Landview and talk to Viki at least.
Look, Joe, as a friend, I'll certainly do more than talk. And if the police or your local district attorney do have anything that is damaging to Viki, then I'll find out exactly what it is and defend her if necessary. In fact, if you've got a few moments here for me to clear the decks, I'll go back with you to Landview today.
I don't know how to thank you, Paul.
Maybe you'd better save the thanks. I have a feeling that we've got an awful lot of work ahead of us.
Dad, sweetheart, now just trust me. Everything is going to be fine, just fine. You can't come to me, Glenn. You came once before. I know, dear, but everything is different now. He has no legal claim to you anymore. You're our son now. And besides, he knows this is the first place the police would look for him. Really? Really? Come on, sweetheart. Come on, sit down. Now, honey, I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to think very, very hard before you answer me. Will you do that for me? Okay, good. Are you sure you didn't misunderstand the man on the radio? Are you certain that he said it was Ray Gardner who escaped? Couldn't it have been another name? No, I'm positive. Charlie heard it, too. Oh, we better bring Charlie in here with us. You want to get... Oh, he left. He was all scared, so he ran home to be with his mom. Oh. Well, now, surely they mentioned something about police looking for the man. Did the announcer say that, too? He said something about an old points bulletin. Well, now, there you have it. Honey, that means that there are hundreds of police and prison officials on the lookout for just one man. I'm sure they'll find him before nightfall. You think so? Yes, I do. And there's just no sense in worrying about it. Now, I'll tell you what. How would you like a nice hot turkey sandwich for lunch? That would be all what you eat. I'm not hungry. Well, you've got to eat anyway. So you just go upstairs now and wash your hands. You really think they'll catch him? I am positive. I'm not the least bit worried. Now, come on, scoot. Up those stairs, wash your hands all the way at the elbow. You understand? Okay.
Oh, Joe, thank heaven.
Mother, what is it?
Ray Gardner has escaped from prison.
He's what?
Tad overheard it on the radio, and they've got an all-points bulletin out on him.
Listen, do you want me to come home?
No, I've calmed him down. But what I'm wondering about is, do you think Ruth has heard it?
Oh, Ruth. No, Mother, I'm certain. She didn't. Otherwise, she would have been in here long ago.
Well, will you tell her, dear?
No, not right away.
Well, she's bound to hear about it. It'd be easier coming from you, dear.
I know, sweetheart. But if they've got an APB out on a man, they may catch him very soon, and I don't want to alarm her unnecessarily.
Oh, you got a point there.
Excuse me a minute, Mother.
Yeah.
Come in.
I'm not disturbing you, am I?
No, you're not disturbing me at all, Ruth.
Oh, well, goodbye, Joe. I'll be praying, dear.
Okay, goodbye, and thank you.
Well, darling, what can I do for you? Don't you mind?
Well, I was hoping you were free for lunch, aren't you?
Yes. Of course I'm free. But, I have to clean off my desk first.
So is something bothering you?
I don't know. I just caught the tail end of it on a radio broadcast. Maybe if you turned your radio up.
No. I don't want Ruth overhearing anything.
You mean you haven't told her about it yet?
No, I haven't. Not yet, anyway. I want to keep her from worrying about it as long as I possibly can.
Surely she must know.
Yes, I know that. But you don't realize the effect that man has on her. I'm not at all sure that she's going to be able to handle it.
Well, I suppose you know what's best for her.
I just want to protect her as long as I can. Paul, is there anything else that you heard that you can tell me?
No, I haven't. But look, why don't you give Phil a call down at headquarters? I'm sure they must know the latest.
Why didn't I ever think of that? Of course. Here I am trying to protect my wife. My brains have turned to mush.
On What Life to Live, the search for Marco's killer is almost over.
Are you telling me that you have positive proof that Viki was involved in Marco's murder?
Does that think Viki did it?
Was Marco blackmailing you?
Or does he think it was Greg?
You've been lying to me, Greg. You were at the health club on the day Marco was murdered.
Or was it Brad?
You had an appointment with Marco during the exact hours he was killed.
Which one was it? One Life to Live, every weekday on ABC.